Hello, everybody, and welcome back to episode 2 of the Miller Wilson podcast. Once again, we're here at the Sigma Chi House in Johnson City. I'm joined by my other host,
Bailey Wilson.
And we have a special guest today. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
It is Byers Carney here, and thank you for having me, guys. It sounds a real treat. Episode 2.
First guest.
First guest. I am honored. Super honored.
Go ahead and tell us everything that's ever happened in your life.
Everything that's happened in my life. Well,
let's start out
Let's
with
not.
let's start out with how you're doing today.
How am I doing today? You know what? I've been pretty good. Earlier today, I got up for class. I literally set my alarm, and 5 minutes before, and I just rolled over and put on my phone, joined my Zoom class, and I was in there while sleeping. It's probably been the best thing about this whole coronavirus thing and the online classes is that you can kind of just roll over in bed and just hit, all right, I'm going to join the class, and then I'm actually in the class. I mean, that, and then later on today, we played Among Us. Me and Nick played Among Us today.
About 2 hours.
That was so frustrating because I always got crewmate, and I could never be the dang imposter, and I always died first. It sucked so much. I was getting livid. I was running around the house, and it was not a good time.
I still can't get into that game. I played it a couple times, and I still hate it.
It's actually it's more fun when you're playing with friends, but by yourself, it can kind of get lonely. I'm not gonna lie.
You can't play in public lobbies. You have to be with friends.
Yeah, 100%. It's just not. But then got some good old bar burritos for dinner tonight, and now I get to be joined by you two for this lovely podcast.
Sounds good. That's what we like to hear. Go ahead, Bailey, and tell us about how your day was.
I have done absolutely nothing today. I woke up and I just existed all day. I contributed nothing to society. I just was today. Nothing special. I mean, I joined the Zoom call thing, but I don't pay attention.
Well, thanks for asking me.
What you been doing?
What I've been up to today. Well, I've been branded for the first time today. My boy Thomas, room 10. He took his steamer and said, "Wouldn't it be funny if I just put this on your arm?" And then he actually put it on my arm and pressed it down, and now I've got a scar. So what?
Did you cry?
You mean did I cry? No.
Yeah.
No.
You look like an emotional person.
I'm not an emotional person like that.
He's not emotional. Only when he's around us boys.
No,
that's
only when I need to be.
Yeah. I mean.
When do you need to be emotional?
I cried when Kobe died.
Did you really?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't cry. I was just more in disbelief than anything.
I feel like a lot of people took his death, he was a hero to a lot of us. And, you don't know this guy, it affected us more than you actually think. And that's legend, as Juice WRLD would say. Legends never die. Rest in peace to him, too. But
2020 has not been fun.
2020 has not been fun. I mean, yes and no. We have COVID-19 going on, and we have all these deaths and everything like that, and we're in a worldwide pandemic.
Riots everywhere.
Didn't Sean Connery just die?
Yeah, and Sean Connery just died, and that wasn't really publicized as much as I thought it would be.
Yeah, there's been a bunch of celebrities that have died this year, and it's not been all over the place.
Kobe was the only one I felt like actually was. Well, I mean, I feel like he's on a different. There's different levels to celebrities. I feel like he was at the top.
Kobe, Pop Smoke, rest in peace to the Woo.
Okay, let's be honest. Did you really listen to Pop Smoke before he died?
I'd heard one song.
Did you listen to him
I didn't listen to him religiously, no.
Not like now.
Now I love Pop Smoke. I love his music.
Well, that's the thing. What's scary is about how death is when X died, in 2018. I think his manager or someone else tweeted out saying, "Death is the best marketing tool."
Mm-hmm.
And it sucks, but I mean, it's true. You're saying, you really didn't listen to Pop before he died, and now you're a huge fan and he's gone. And that's a huge marketing tool.
So what you're saying is one of us needs to die, and then we'll hit the charts.
Yes.
Number 1 podcast in the world afterwards.
I think y'all should go outside, sandpit it real quick, and then fight to the death.
Nick's heart will kill him before I do. So okay. I'm not too concerned.
So we're just going to go in with the fat jokes already?
I'm a member of the large community, so you can make fun of other people, other big people.
Have you ever been to a sandpit?
Yes.
How many times?
Twice.
Twice? Has it been on video?
No.
I don't even know what a sandpit is. What's a sandpit?
Okay, go.
Okay, so the sandpit is where you are basically angry. This is how I understand it. Is when you're angry at somebody and you kind of want to fight and wrestle somebody, and there's a beach volleyball court in the backyard, and you just say, from what I understand, I'm gonna take you to the sand pit right now. Let's go wrestle in the sand pit, and basically you just wrestle into the beach volleyball court. Whoever wins.
Yeah.
Whoever taps out
Yeah.
first.
Is this a common occurrence at the Sigma Chi house?
It used to
Yes.
be. I mean, not as much because no one's
People
really
aren't
at the
really
house.
here, but at the house, it's somewhat of an
When
occurrence.
drunken nights with party nights when we had them back in the day, it was a nightly thing.
Drunken. Nobody drinks at Sigma Chi.
Nobody under 21,
Nobody under 21 drinks at Sigma Chi. That's
Everybody follows the laws.
always. So yeah, we'll take you to a sand pit. Either me or Byers.
I'm good. I've done my fair share of sand pits.
Okay.
I've had I still have sand in my ear, and a year later, you'll get sand everywhere in places you don't think you've ever gotten sand.
That's why I hate the beach. I'll go to the beach and the waves start hitting me, and then I start drowning, and then salt gets in my mouth, and
I relate so much.
to getting destroyed at the beach by the
Oh
waves.
yeah, I don't hate the beach. I hate the sandy part of the beach, but I'm an ocean guy, so I love the ocean and being on the water.
You'll go out there deep, just deep ocean.
I won't swim out there. I mean, I'll go on a boat or something, but I love the ocean. I love being on the water.
What if a sea monster comes up?
Well, you know what? When I get to that point, when I get there, I'll figure it out. But I'm okay. It'll be fine. I think the closest thing we have to a sea monster is probably a big ass shark, and I've caught those before fishing, and so.
You think you could take one in a fight if it?
Well, sharks, believe it or not, they're kind of wussies. Yes, you have the movie Jaws, back when it came out in I think it was the 70s. It came out, 70s or 80s, maybe earlier than that. I don't remember. When that came out, they basically put this whole fear in the media where sharks are super bad and everything, and they're super aggressive, and even when my mom saw that movie, she would not go in the water for 3 months. And a lot of people did that. They just would not go into the water.
Speaking of water, Nick is now drinking water on the podcast. This is a podcast first, never seen before.
Stay hydrated. Drink your water, baby.
I was trying to be quiet with it.
You know it is.
You know, some people complain that companies can bottle up water and sell them.
Dude, it's like freaking the Lorax when they were bottling air. O'Hare air.
You're not just gonna go to a river and start drinking water.
Hey, if you're trying to
They're
I
gonna
mean,
survive.
you could, if you had
It
to.
depends where you're at. If you're in
Stagnant
west.
Stagnant water is not what you drink. You
out
can
west,
drink
can't
flowing
drink out
water.
of it.
In Michigan, you can't drink the water.
Flint, Michigan,
Flint, Michigan.
because it's got mercury or something.
Whatever it is in
I
there.
think it's lead.
Lead,
Lead.
yes, lead.
I think it's lead that's in it. It's been going on forever too, and it's a shame that it's not more publicized than what it is. But I mean,
It's still going on, and
it's still going on.
I don't know how the government hasn't done anything about it.
oh well,
I
it's
think
our
it's
government.
I think it was originally the government's fault.
Mhm.
The town of Flint, they allowed this to happen. I don't think it was on purpose, but it was under their control, and that's how lead got into
Sorry, we have a drag racer on West Maple Street.
West Maple Street, dude. I think back in the day when you had when all the fraternity houses were on this street, and you had SAE, SIGAT, Kappa Sig were in the tree streets, and I mean there's some things that people should not have done. I mean there was, I think back in 2016, 2015, or 2000 spring 16 was when they had gunshots. There's a drive-by gunshot. And then a couple, I think it was also 16 as well. They were doing derby days, and some poor folks got hit with water balloons by unnamed people that I will not talk about.
Uh-huh.
And it's unfortunate that people do that for a event that's supposed to benefit cancer people and patients, excuse me. And Greek life rivalries and wars, I mean, personally, I think it's stupid.
It's kind of unnecessary, but
it really is unnecessary. And
it's just like a stigma, though.
yeah, I mean, we all join Greek life for a reason. We're all trying to be a part of a group, and the fact that you're trying to go at somebody because they just either they join a different group, you guys have different views on certain things. I mean, you shouldn't attack somebody for that. I mean, there is a reason why we have the Bill of Rights and all these amendments, and the first one, I mean, freedom of speech, and you can say whatever you want to say, and you should not be attacked for that. Personally, my favorite amendment is the Third Amendment. No soldier should be allowed to stay in your home without your permission.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably my favorite one.
My favorite one's the Second Amendment.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Do you think they could ever get rid of it?
The Second Amendment?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I mean, the only amendment that was ever overturned and basically added another amendment was alcohol prohibition.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no way they would be able to, like, the Supreme Court, they're fighting for the Constitution, like, they represent the Constitution in a sense. And if they decide, oh, we need to get rid of this amendment, or like Congress will be like, hey, we want to get rid of this amendment, so we're adding a new amendment, it has to go through everybody. It has to go through a lot of people. And personally, if whoever's president should, in my opinion, veto that bill if it ever gets passed through the House and the Senate, which I don't think it ever will. Because
it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work to make an amendment, and it's, personally, I don't think it's worth it, but that's just me.
I feel like they need to pay more attention to who's buying guns, though.
I agree. There should be, I believe it was right to add age versus 21.
Is it intended? I thought it was 18 in Tennessee.
For rifles, it's 18.
For rifles. For, like, buying assault rifles, they should be at higher age just because yes, you are 21, but supposedly you're supposed to be more mature, more developed in your brain.
No, you think in that case then they should just bump it up to like 25 or whatever? Isn't that when the brain fully develops?
Yes. And that's why, like, when you turn 25, your insurance typically goes a lot lower. There's no really need to have an assault rifle. I mean, yes, I get it is your right to have one, and
people hunt with them, but like
people hunt with them, and that's completely fine. But like, it's good to like just go shooting and stuff like that, just because they're fun. They are fun to shoot. I'm not gonna lie, they are. I like bow and arrow. That's fun to shoot too, and archery. I love that stuff. I don't think an 18-year-old should be able to get a gun and be able to do that stuff. I mean, we were all dummies at 18. I was one. I mean, you guys are 20.
I was actually, everybody says I'm the next Einstein.
Yeah.
Yeah, they call me Elon Musk.
My ACT score was 100.
You passed it?
I got a 100.
You got 100?
You got a 100?
Yeah.
Damn, I didn't know they did that way.
They changed it for me.
Yeah, they had to get rid of the normal scoring system for Nick and go to a normal test scoring system.
Because I just got it up so high. So
he actually, on every question, he would write a detailed explanation of how he found his answer. So
yeah.
they had to
I would show my work even though it said not to.
Even in the essay portion.
Oh my gosh, that is the worst thing ever. I mean, I get it for a teacher, but like when you get an answer and you already know the answer because you did the math in your head, and then you said, "Oh, show your work." It's like, why? I already know it. Just say yes. And I get it why, because like, they think you're cheating and stuff like that. You just copied off the answers, because 9 times out of 10 that's what I usually did anyway. But when I did it, like, come on, I don't want to show my work. Just know that I did it. Trust me.
I don't think the whole showing work thing just doesn't make sense at all, because even cheating, I don't feel like cheating is a bad thing, because you're just using the resources available to you, which you're going to be doing in a workplace.
Yeah. I mean,
I guess it's just more of a thing where they just want you to think for yourself.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair though, in the real world, whoever's like the wolf, right? And you're basically like, you're taking someone else's idea and you make it better, and like you do it well. That's how the real world works. And it's like the same similar principle as cheating, but like academically, you should do your own work and not cheat. But at the same time, those principles in real life don't work.
With the way technology and everything is, it's hard not to, because you got these apps on your phone like Socratic.
Oh yeah.
Stuff like that.
Teachers would always say like, you're not gonna have a calculator in your pocket.
Yeah, well, we do.
So. Look how the tables have turned. Now we have it.
We have answer banks in our pocket now, so it's even better.
Siri, man.
Siri doesn't do anything for me.
Siri. Google's so much better in that department, and that's what Apple should improve upon. They should improve on a lot of things. They're really behind the curve. I still love Apple, and I'll go Apple all the way, but the technology is always so far behind, which is super upsetting.
I think people go Apple just because of the stigma of, if you have an Android, you're broke.
The name brand?
Well, like, yeah, that name brand, but like Apple does such a really good job of staying like in an ecosystem. So like if you have a Mac, you have an iPad, you have an iPhone, they all work together really
Yeah.
well. If you have like an Android, another Android doesn't work well with another Android.
Depends, like if you have like an LG phone, it's
Yeah.
not gonna work with a honestly
A Samsung TV.
Yeah.
And like it's gotten better, but it's still not the same. Like if I had a old Note 5, and when we had like the Samsung TV my dad just got, it worked well because I had a Samsung phone and then I had a Samsung TV, and it all like collaborated and everything. But if my brother had an LG phone and it didn't work with the Samsung TV, so that's why Apple's so much better, and that's why, and they are in a sense trendsetters too. Like they got rid of the headphone jack, and now the new Samsung doesn't have a headphone jack anymore. They didn't come with wireless charging, but they now have wireless charging, and that's better. But like other things, like now when MacBook decided to get rid of all of their USB A's and like all like the ST stuff on the side of the computer, now you need dongles, and they started doing that. They started that trend. Now other computers are starting to do that trend too.
Yeah.
They are trendsetters, which is amazing, and it's amazing how much power that company has.
They don't, with the new iPhones coming out, I feel like they're pushing them out just without, like, I feel like they need to take more time.
They don't need to because people are gonna buy them anyways.
Well, yeah, I know that, but it's like they're doing a quantity over quality type thing. Like, I feel like there hasn't been a change in the iPhone in a while.
Well, this one, I mean, you don't want to fix what's broke, like what isn't broke, you know?
They keep their stuff super simple. Like their iOS is like really simple. It's really easy to understand. So there's no reason
Just
to
keep adding
really
more
change
cameras.
that. Hey.
Or lenses, whatever.
Hey, it is what it is.
The cameras are getting better and better.
They look good. They look as good as like.
Oh, the wide angle and stuff like that. I think what they need to improve on is like the lower light modes, because that's what Samsung blows, and like Google and all that, they blow Apple out of the water with that one.
Yeah, but the only problem if you have a Google phone is you're getting roasted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't look at it how much your Google phone costs. You have to look how many hours I'm gonna get roasted for having the Google phone. Imagine you're at the lunch table and back in high school and you whip out the Google phone. That's a 30-minute roast session right there.
Nobody's eating their lunch. They're just gonna roast you.
Imagine being at a lunch table in high school right now. Oh wait, so
you'd have to be 6 feet apart.
Really, I know Tennessee's completely different from like North Carolina and Florida, because that's where I'm from.
Yeah.
And Florida's basically an open state.
Yeah.
You can do basically whatever you want. And I was driving down the main like drag for like the main street for my hometown. It was popping, like nothing. It didn't seem like anything was nothing happened. Like there's no like pandemic or anything going on. I mean, you had people that were wearing masks and stuff like that, but I mean, not really.
Not a high majority of people.
No. I mean, as soon as they got into the bar, they immediately took it off. That is also the other thing that I have an issue with, and why people enforce this. Why in the heck, when you go into restaurants, they force you to wear a mask when you walk in, but as soon as you walk and you're walking to the table and you get to the table, oh, I'm just going to take it off. That makes absolutely no sense. And then usually when you're walking out, you don't have a mask on anyway.
No. People just don't put it back on to walk back out.
So, like...
Well, I don't know how you can do it without... Because you got to eat.
Well, yeah, I get it. But, like... And I get why they do it, because...
Put a hole in it.
The CDC, it makes you, like... And if you want to stay in business, they make you say, oh, you need to have a mask on. But, like, they don't really enforce it. But now, it's like... Nowadays, like, I remember before, like, if you walked in to, like, Walmart in, like, March... And you see people wearing masks, like, oh, wow, they're a freak. And now, if you don't wear a mask into Walmart, you're like, oh.
You're looked down upon?
You're looked down upon. It's, like, completely flipped, and it's, like, super weird.
Also, I love how they had these gates set up like we were about to get into the Appalachian Fair or something like that, like the county fair.
Oh, yeah.
You had to go through this little gate, and then...
That's what's annoying, man. They shut down all these, like... They shut down, like, both entrances. So, like, I can't park on the other side of Walmart anymore. Because, like, I want to go to the garden center, and I can't because I have to walk all the way around through Walmart and then walk all the way back. I know I'm complaining about the smallest thing ever, but, like, come on.
It's really the little things that are the most inconvenient.
Yeah, I know.
Because, why did they close at 10?
Well, no, they were closing at 10 anyway just because...
No, they were closing at 8:30.
Oh, they were closing at 8:30. Yeah, naturally they were closing at 8:30. And...
So they usually not...
They're open 24 hours, usually. But then I thought a thing where I saw, like, just before Like, this was like in January, where they're not going to be open 24 hours. They're just going to be open like at 2. They close at 2 and they open back like at 6 a.m. Because you don't need to employ all those people working the registers. And if you're not getting any foot traffic, what's the point? You can just have the stalkers being there, but that's about it. You don't need...
I didn't know that. I thought it was like a Corona thing, because that's when it started.
No, there's a lot of... when they first... A lot of these Walmarts were supposed to open like at 24 hours, and then I know the one in Irwin, they closed, or Unicoi. Yeah. They were 24 hours, and then they decided, we're just going to be open around, like, they're going to close at midnight.
Yeah. And I know some were, like, they had already been where they just they weren't open 24 hours.
Oh, yeah, that too. But it's really locational.
Yeah.
That's where you see the most scary people, is Walmart at about
3, 4 a.m.
Yeah.
I swear, every single time I go by that Walgreens, like, on the corner right by Chick-fil-A, Taco Bell, and every single time I drive there, and, like, I go by myself at night, I'm always offered weed. I don't know why. I'm always offered some form of drugs while I'm there. I don't know if it's my appearance or something, but it's every single time, without a doubt. By myself, I'm always offered some form of drugs.
Last time I went to Waffle House, somebody asked if I wanted weed. You gotta be careful what you do at 6 a.m. or anything.
Yeah.
It wasn't even 6, it was like 4 or something. You can't. I feel like going out in public at that time that's when the most stuff happens.
Yeah. My mom always says nothing good happens after midnight.
Why midnight?
No, she's right.
It's
when the freaks come out.
Well, like, okay, anything after midnight, yeah, when the freaks come out. But, like, I'll give you, like, whenever we would have, like, shindigs at either my old house or here at the Sigma Chi house years ago, after midnight, that's when, like, shit started hitting the fan. And
all the randos
would show up.
You guys don't do a good job on security here. The door's open constantly.
No.
You lock it at night?
Oh, yeah, we lock it at night.
We lock it at night.
And we lock it at night, and we lock it during the day, too. I mean, it's not like people who have the password to walk in.
Every time I've been here, I've just walked in.
Well, everyone's home. There's somebody home.
That's why.
You guys need people...
Because I'm usually here.
Yeah, like...
And I will beat somebody up.
Yeah, most people are home. So it's not like, oh, yeah, there's nobody home and the door's unlocked. Everyone's home. There are people home. It's been a very rare moment where there's not been at least one person here.
Have you ever had anybody just randomly walk in? Not like at a party?
No. So one of the guys who's on the housing court, he hires these contractors, and honestly, I don't know where he picks them up from, but they just show up and he doesn't tell us that they're showing up. So one day I was down in the basement, like, grabbing my laundry or something, and I just see this guy walking around smoking a cigarette in the basement. I'm like, hey, who are you?
That happened today. Or not like the cigarette thing, but like they didn't tell us about. There was the air duct guy. I woke up this morning, and I look out my window and I see this big like truck that's parked in the basketball court, and it's like heating and air conditioning. And I'm like, they didn't say anything to us. Why in the heck is it here? And the lack of communication between housing court and...
Yeah, shout out Peck.
Shout out to Peck.
He's always barging in people's rooms without consent.
Without consent?
Yeah, he's got a master key.
You guys need to fix the court back there. Or not the court, it's just the rim. That rim is...
Yeah, there's only a bolt on one side, so we need to fix that.
We'll fix it at some point.
Eventually, but right now it's working good for our hoop sessions.
Well, I don't live here, but I'm going to go ahead and start making improvements.
Alright, what else would you improve in this house?
Well, I don't know what these old 19...
the radiators?
1925...
Yeah, radiators.
It actually turned on for the first time today.
They turn on in the winter. They work.
Yeah, you can touch it. It's pretty warm.
I don't want to.
It's not gonna like melt my TV, but it's kind of warm.
They get warm.
They work.
There's just no central AC. Why?
There's just no point in having them.
What do you mean? It gets freezing.
They're so old. Just get a heater.
But they do the job.
You know how warm I'm gonna be now? Very warm. Probably too warm.
That thing looks like it does not need to be in here.
I mean, yeah, it's old, but like it does the job. So, like I said earlier, if it ain't broke, why are you fixing it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, all right, never mind. Because if you start making improvements, that's gonna make the ghost get upset.
Oh yeah.
We got to keep it in its natural state.
Yeah, because if you start adding stuff and getting modern, he's gonna start flipping out and picking people up and throwing them.
This house is never gonna get modern. Let's be honest here.
No.
2065. The radiators are still in.
I wouldn't be surprised.
By the time it's modern, we'll probably be out of this house.
I'll definitely be out of this house.
I'm saying Sumakai as a whole.
Oh yeah, chapter. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because.
Well, that's me, but it will be like I think we'd be living on campus.
Yeah, hopefully.
If we're still around,
everyone.
People's charters get pulled and stuff like that. No.
Yeah, if they give us an actual living space, not just a little study room like they have been. Shout out ETSU. Not trying to slander your name, but...
No, like, that deal is horrible. Because you talk to anybody that, like in other fraternities that have that housing set up, it's not good at all. Like,
BYX and Alpha Sig are in a dorm. They have a little room in a dorm. SIG up and SAE have these little houses that I think max capacity is like 20 or 25 people, and it's only a study space.
How many can you get in here?
Right now, 22, because one resident each gets a guest.
Or is that saying, like, you're just here and then you can just bring someone else here to live? Or are you
No,
saying,
like, each resident gets a guest. Like, so whenever you come over to do this podcast, you're a guest.
I'm an honorary member.
You're a +1.
Yeah, you have a +1 in the girlfriend.
Yeah.
Does the +1 apply to the girlfriend one too, or can you have a girlfriend and a...
It's like your girlfriend, and that's...
They're not mutually exclusive. It's one or the other.
It's either your boy comes over
or your girl comes over.
But you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, I don't. Hit me up.
Shout out to Nick.
Hit up my Snap. My phone's dry.
Phone's dry.
I ain't got nothing on here. Ain't nobody texting me ever.
My phone's so dry, I've just stopped charging it.
You just
Yikes.
wake up and that's it.
The most action I get on my phone is my alarm.
Or batteries now officially charged.
Yeah.
Those
or
are my two
the
messages.
battery low message.
Yeah, those are my... Dude, Among Us drains the battery.
I played it for like 5 minutes and my phone was dead.
That's another thing.
Honestly, it doesn't make mine go down that much. Maybe it's because the 8's been trucking for a while. I have an iPhone 8. It's been trucking.
My phone I need to replace the battery, and like the little charging port, it needs to be cleaned out because the lightning connector won't stay in all the time. And it's not a big fix, but like also, I don't want to get the new iPhone. Like, I like my phone.
Yeah.
It does fine. It's not cracked. It's paid off. That's a big thing. And it does the job, what I need to do. And if I just replace the battery and clean the little thing, it's a brand new phone.
Have you seen the thing where Apple supposedly, like, after a new, like, iPhone comes out...
Oh, yeah, the software update.
The software...
They slow down the phones.
Yeah, the phones slow down, and that's why it starts getting real buggy, because...
That's real?
Yeah, it's a real thing. They had a lawsuit for it, and if you had an iPhone 7...
And they put it in a little fine print in the terms and conditions, I think.
Yeah.
Well, of course.
But, like, if you could actually go get free money. Like, I got free money for it. Like, I got $50, but there was a huge settlement where Apple would pay, like, $5 billion, something ridiculous. And, yeah, you get, like, $50 if you had, like, an iPhone 7 or 7 Plus.
Just because of that update?
Just because of the update issue.
I feel like it still does it on mine.
I mean, it probably does.
I'm
they
sure
probably
it still
do
does.
it.
Yeah.
But like that's when they got caught.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's because they weren't telling people about it.
Yeah.
Now we just know.
Yep.
It's expected.
Rest in peace, Steve Jobs.
I mean, it's always been honestly, when Steve passed away, Apple hasn't been the same.
No.
What he died of cancer, didn't he?
I think so.
Yeah, something like that.
I honestly don't remember. I think it was 2006. He
yeah, it's
passed
been
away.
a while.
No, not 2006. 2009.
Cancer is the worst thing on the planet.
I hate it.
Because you can't do anything about it. I mean, there's
You can, but chemo like alters you for life, basically.
Yeah, it destroys your cells and stuff. It's basically just poison.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, my grandmother just died like 3 weeks ago due to lung cancer. It's hard to find like a cure for all that stuff, and that's why you have that Huntsman thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I like about our fraternity so much. I mean, our philanthropy and all that stuff, and there's always, everybody knows at least one person that's been affected with cancer.
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, I'm putting a promo here.
Yeah.
But like,
donate to Huntsman.
Donate to Huntsman. That's my thing.
What's gonna come out of it that's negative?
No, we are the generation that had cancer.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna happen.
I hope so.
All this technology and stuff, I feel like it should happen soon.
I think they should put more into it. I feel like they could put way more resources into it.
Either that or we'll have flying cars. One of the two.
You give me flying cars. That's what we need more than anything right now.
Dude, the electric cars that are rolling out.
Tesla.
Have you seen the new Hummer?
Oh yeah, the Hummer. That's ridiculous. Like, I mean, it's cool. The layout's cool and everything. But I mean, hopefully it's more efficient than the past Hummers they've ever had. But like the price is so absurd.
Crazy.
It's like
It's like 100,000.
No, it's more than that. It's like 100.
Like
For a
for the most the best package with like all
like
the
the most
features
recent
and everything.
one. Like it's
For a Hummer.
For a Hummer, like the Series 1 that's coming out. It comes out like next fall, I think.
Yeah.
And then
Is it electric?
it's electric. It's a fully electric Hummer. It's really cool though. Like they have the layout's cool and stuff like that.
They have one feature where I think it's called Crab Walk or something like that.
Crab?
Yeah.
Where it'll turn the back tires if you're like trying to go through like a rocky terrain and you can't just like cut it enough. It'll turn the back tires with your front tires and it'll just go sideways.
It'll just go sideways?
Like diagonally, I mean. It's pretty crazy.
Who's the head of all this?
GMC.
Yeah. Edward F.
GMC's
Hummer.
doing all that.
The founder of Hummer?
Yeah.
F Hummer.
Edward F. Hummer.
Did you see the Elon Musk put the is it the new Tesla that came out? He put it at $69,420 because he had like some big vote or something for it.
No, I didn't.
I think that's official.
I thought that was always a meme.
I don't.
Well, I
wait,
feel
are you
like
talking about the Tesla Roadster?
I don't know which one.
Because I'm pretty sure that one's like 120 grand.
Yeah, if it is a meme though, I mean Elon's about like he loves
He is
that
a meme.
Yeah,
He's a
he loves
walking
that
meme.
stuff. He's on a different level from normal people.
I mean, most brilliant guys are.
Yeah.
No, but he's like, it's kind of scary.
He's a genius.
Like he thinks like weird.
Uh huh.
Well, like, you have to.
Mm-hmm. You
Like,
can't
if
be
you're
a
being
sheep.
normal. Yeah, you can't be normal and be like, oh, I have $1 billion idea.
Yeah, because odds are somebody's already done that.
I'll give you an example. Facebook. They had an idea. You ever see The Social Network, the movie?
No.
Well, basically, it's the movie about how Mark Zuckerberg came to be the owner of, at the time, it was called The Facebook. And it was also, basically, it all started out as a site you could look up at Harvard, and you can find all these different students, and you can rate them on how they look, like good looking. It's kind of like a first version of like Tinder.
Yeah.
But it was only set for schools, and what they did is they were doing this social network just for schools, and it started off at Harvard, then it went to the Ivy Leagues, and then they moved to Stanford, and then when they moved to Stanford, they decided to stay out in California, and then it became this whole thing where they started expanding past schools, and it's now Facebook as you guys know it today.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really good movie if you have a chance. It's on Netflix. I think it should be still on Netflix, but it's a really good movie if you haven't checked it out yet.
I think Mark Zuckerberg might be an alien.
No, have you seen the thing? I was just about to say something
He's creepy.
about. Do you think lizard people are real?
Do I think lizard people are real?
Yeah. You've never seen the videos of like people in the government like their faces and stuff would change?
I feel like some
I
of those
feel like
videos
they
are
are, and
doctored, but like.
I know, like, Hollywood kind of affects how we think about that, but it doesn't seem far-fetched at all.
That lizard people are.
Yeah.
How do you even do that?
I
You
remember.
genetically mutate them.
I remember Mark
That's how I think you
Zuckerberg.
do it.
Speaking of Mark Zuckerberg, that's what brought this up. There was like this one conference he had to attend, and like I thought there was something weird about. It was all over the internet. I forget what it was, but it was something people were like, oh, he's a lizard. He's a reptile person.
He blinked weird or something.
Something like that, I think. He blinked sideways.
I don't know. He looks like
He looks dead.
He looks like he has.
He's
no
probably
soul.
dead inside. He's just no emotion. He's a robot. He doesn't function normally, and like he's probably taking commands from some little guy like Plankton.
Yeah.
In his head, he's controlling.
There's
Yeah.
a hamster running throughout his head.
Like in Ratatouille.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Ratatouille.
Remy. That's okay. So what's a good what do you think is your top Pixar movie? Well, like, I'll give you some names. You got Up, you got Ratatouille, you got Bug's Life, you got Cars.
Ratatouille is an elite.
I'm not gonna lie, The Incredibles was kind of
Like
elite.
Incredibles.
The Incredibles is good.
The first one was pretty good. I don't know. How do you feel about the second one?
Second one was,
like, I feel like
kind
you're
of a
stretching
letdown.
the story.
Kind of a letdown.
Felt forced
Yeah.
because how it ended off last time. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
even though like everybody was expecting a sequel, but because how it ended, that mold dude.
The big
came out
old
of the
mole
ground.
guy.
So like they were already set up for another one.
But
I
Up
feel
is
like they
probably a good one too.
Up's good. You know what? Probably my favorite one is Finding Dory or Wall-E.
Finding Dory is a
should.
good one.
Wall-E.
Yeah.
Wall-E is. People don't talk about it enough.
It's
they should.
underrated.
It's underrated. And every single time I watch Ratatouille, I just start cooking. I get so hungry when I watch that, and it's so bad. But yeah, Wall-E and freaking and Cars too. Like just
Cars, yeah.
just Cars, the series. I absolutely love. Dude, Rascal Flatts. That's how like I started getting like the Rascal Flatts and like Sheryl Crow.
Yeah.
Freaking Cars. They do really good soundtracks for those movies.
Oh yeah.
Lion King's probably my favorite movie ever.
Have you seen the? I've not seen the live action one or whatever.
I haven't either, actually.
It's not the same.
It's not.
Yeah, there's no singing, I heard.
Or like the Jungle Book
they're
or anything.
singing.
They're singing in it?
They're singing, but it's not like...
I don't think I've seen any of the new live
I
action movies.
haven't. No, none of
the
them.
only one I saw was Lion King just because it was on Disney Plus, and I was like, well...
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I watched it, and then I watched the other one, and I was like, the first one's way better.
I think the most bogus thing on Disney Plus is how they want you to pay like premiere access for Mulan live action.
What was it, 30?
I don't know how much it is.
That's
it's like $15 extra or something. It's like, I'm not paying $15. I'm already giving you monthly payments.
Yeah.
I'm
How
not
much is
paying. It's like, I don't know how much. It's like, but the fact that they're asking you to give you money while you're already paying for a subscription, this isn't like, if it was free and then they were asking for it, fine. But
Yeah, I know
they're already taking my money. Don't take more.
Disney is the most money-hungry organization on the planet.
Disney's so freaking powerful.
They own
in
everything.
In the movie industry, they own everything.
Well, what's
ESPN,
crazy
they
is,
own all.
yeah, like there's like five major companies that own everything in the world, basically.
You ever see like those graphs, like you have like these, they're not really pie graphs, but
It's
like
like the
bubble
big
graphs.
bubble
Bubble
graphs.
graphs,
That's what
yeah.
I'm talking about.
and like they just have like P&G and DuPont, and you have like all these other kind of like Disney and what they own and stuff
Google.
like that, Google, and those charts are like absolutely astounding.
Have you ever seen like the conspiracy theories where like Disney's like a Satanist organization? They'll put like subliminal messages in movies, and like one of the like parks in Disney is like a pentagram. It gets
Or like the underground tunnels and
Oh,
everything.
those theories, yeah. I've seen them, but like I don't know actually if I believe them or not.
well, you come across them if you're on YouTube about 2 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
on the endless search where you just keep going through stuff.
Yeah.
I'm usually more on TikTok more than I am on YouTube now.
You like TikTok?
Yeah, actually, I think it's pretty good. I miss Vine. Like I love Vine,
I like Vine
so much.
I hate TikTok with a passion.
Really?
Especially now that I saw the, well, it's not recent, but it happened a while back, where they were, like, dressing up as, like, Holocaust, they were acting like Holocaust survivors or something.
I didn't get that one.
It was, like, teenagers, and it was, like, they would dress up and, they, like, decorate themselves as Holocaust people and stuff, and they were, like, it was gross. I just couldn't stand it.
I think the big difference between Vine and TikToks is that, like, with Vine, you can kind of... I know, like, with Vine, you can go, like, into the search bar, and you'd go, like, popular, and then you would see, like, what was popular and funny, and then everyone would see that. With, like, TikTok, everything's more, like, with a certain algorithm, and they want it towards, like, the For You page, and then you have, like, your following page. And a lot of times you won't see, like, other people won't see, like, I can watch something about something a For You page, and it's, like, has 4 million views. And you will never see it because it's not a part of the algorithm.
Yeah, I saw a thing, it was like, they wouldn't let ugly people on the For You page.
That I believe.
Yeah.
I've never seen any ugly people on TikTok.
I feel like that's just like because prettier people get more
That's
likes.
an Instagram algorithm too.
Yeah. Really, it is. Like the Explore page is filled with nothing but like models and
Who owns TikTok? Because didn't a company buy it?
some company
it was
bought it.
under-
I thought it was either Oracle or Microsoft.
Because weren't they were under blast because Trump was trying to ban them or whatever. Because
Yeah.
It was a Chinese-owned company or
Yeah.
Chinese-based company.
Yeah.
and then they came out with they were saying that they're taking people's faces and stuff like that for
Well, like,
information.
Yeah. Well, see, a lot of with China, the government requires you to like report all your stuff, and since it's a communist
Yeah.
country, so yeah, and that's why like Trump was saying, oh yeah, we shouldn't have a communist country or a Chinese-based company in America because they are taking like pictures and like they're getting personal information and it's going
Right.
straight to the Chinese government and possible secrets. That's why in the military, they really don't allow people in the military to have TikToks. Like my sister's in ROTC, an Air Force ROTC, and she's not allowed to have TikTok.
Yeah, like all government. Yeah, they don't. On
That's
their
the rule for the government put in.
Yeah, she's not. Like, if she's caught having TikTok, she will lose her scholarship. She'll lose everything. So she does not have
It
TikTok.
makes sense though. You wouldn't want people in the armed forces getting like information taken.
But like I see military TikToks all the time. So
yeah, well, I think it's more their personal. The ones that they can't have it on is the ones that they use for work or something like that.
But even then, you'll see people that are like out in different countries, like they're either Afghanistan, Iraq, take your pick, wherever. They're stationed somewhere else, and they are like saying they're doing all these things like how military operational. They're not a military operation how it works, but like what their life is on base.
Mm-hmm.
And if some country or someone got a hold of that information, they could use that to our disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand where everyone's coming from, but I have a life. But then again, you did sign away your life when you signed that contract.
Yeah, honestly.
Well, you also get crazy benefits from the military.
You get a
so it's not
Camaro.
like you get a Camaro or a Hellcat.
There is a story that I heard, and basically, this guy owns a car dealership. This ex-military guy owns a car dealership, like a muscle car dealership. And when these kids, like these 18 or 19-year-old kids, they first get their paycheck, and what do they usually spend it on? Car.
Mm-hmm.
Like a modified muscle car. So this guy had a dealership like right outside this boot camp base, and all these kids that just graduated boot camp, they have all this money now, they go straight to that dealership.
Everybody buys a Camaro.
Mhm.
Maybe buys a Camaro, a Mustang, to any modified muscle car.
Yep.
You'll see these kids that finish boot camp will buy a car.
It's really a stereotype, but like it's a stereotype that's
It's
proven.
it's
It's like
real.
a
It's
proven.
real.
You should get one
stereotype.
just like a sign-on bonus, like it puts like Camaro under it.
Yeah, signing bonus.
Yeah.
Like for how they do sports contracts.
Yeah. Well, the military already has one.
Yeah.
Like you just get extra money for like.
Yeah, you get a signing bonus, and then you get like a pay for, it's like a regular salary contract.
Yeah.
Like you get a $45,000 signing bonus, and then you get paid $40K a year. I'm just making up a number. I don't know the
Yeah.
actual
I think
number.
I don't know what it is.
Every position's different
Yeah.
because you can be either active duty or reserve duty. Like we have a lot of guys here that are on reserve
Yeah. Yeah.
duty.
Well, then they also don't account in like whatever that 40,000 is plus all your insurance.
I think they only get paid when they go to drill.
Like when they're actually on.
When they're actually on base and like on
Yeah.
active. Like, but other than that, like when they're just chilling here, they're not getting paid.
Well, they still get free college. They can get their college gets paid for.
Yeah.
And the insurance and all.
They get
that.
all that paid for, but like you're still part of this obligation. Voluntary obligation you've bestowed upon yourself.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't be in the military. That's too much. You
Yeah.
could I could do like a behind the scenes operation, like working on something.
Like a computer programmer.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
But I'm not going out front lines and shooting at people and getting shot at. I'm not trying to die.
Yeah.
I've always been a big fan of Coast Guard. Coast Guard and the Navy. I guess since I'm a water freak,
Yeah.
and I like boats and stuff like that. But like Coast Guard has always appealed to me so much.
What do they actually do?
They protect our borders. So like they're like our
Yeah.
Water
Our
border
water
patrol?
borders.
like water border patrol and
Like if somebody's stranded out in the middle of the ocean, they
They
have to
shoot
get
rescue.
them.
They
Yeah.
shoot them.
Yeah.
yeah, if they're coming in from Cuba.
Coast Guard. I'm pretty sure isn't Coast Guard, or would that be Navy? Like if.
Navy's international.
Okay.
So Coast Guard is all like
It's just U.S.
it's all U.S. So you have like Hawaii and Alaska, and then the continental U.S. So that's Coast Guard, and the Navy's international. Like they don't do anything really inside the United States. Same thing with everybody else. So but yeah, Coast Guard has always appealed to me. I've always thought that was cool.
Sometimes at night, whenever I'm having mental breakdowns from school, I'll think about joining the military. Because I've always been good at like, I don't want to say I'm good at it.
Been
but
good at playing COD or something.
I'm really good at Call of Duty, so I'm pretty sure that translates to real life.
I bet
One
people.
time I got a 360 no scope wide Tomahawk.
And you got a phone call from
I got a phone call from
The
Barack
president?
Obama at the time.
Obama.
Yeah.
He personally wanted you on his staff.
He was watching his Twitch, man.
Said, hey,
I was watching you.
your
Doing good
FBI agent was watching you through the phone, and
He said that shit was sick.
yeah, said that was dope. I want you on my Secret Service detail.
We need you now. No, but I feel like I've always been good. Like if someone just tells me to do something, I feel like I can do it. But like with college and stuff, like you actually have to like stay self-disciplined and stuff like that.
I mean, it's kind of the same. I mean, kind of yes and no, but like
your
the kids.
professors aren't screaming at you.
Yeah, well, like the thing is though, the grass is greener on the other side. Like
Yeah.
I bet like people that are on active duty,
There's like,
I
dang,
can
I wish I
guarantee
would've
it.
went to
Like,
college.
yeah, I guess I wish I went to college.
But they also can go to college for free.
Yes, but at the time, like, oh yeah, I'm at down point. Oh yeah, I wish I went to the military. I mean, it's the exact same.
And they
idea.
get you in shape. So like they do everything for you.
Round's the shape. I'm
Yeah.
round.
I'm
I'm
saying
in shape.
I'm saying in shape. Like I'm in dangerous waters right now.
Come on, you're
Especially in these times.
Like lean. You're talking
Yeah,
about real
lean.
lean.
I was gonna say fat, but then we'd get assaulted by all the whatever
What?
politically correct and all those people.
I hate being
Social,
politically correct.
social justice warriors.
Yeah, I've never been politically correct ever.
I mean, I get why in the professional world. It's just, I'd rather just speak my mind and call it a day. That's all I want. Call it a day and just be blunt about it and tell you how I feel.
You can't do that anymore.
No, you can't.
You'll get
And you get crucified if you don't believe one side
right. It goes both
to a
ways.
story.
We
Yeah,
talked
it
about
goes
this
both
on the
ways.
last podcast.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what, you're gonna piss off somebody. So
You can't make everybody happy.
No.
Speaking of that, I had to go cover a football game at Happy Valley. It was South Green played at Happy Valley, and it was a pretty close game throughout. But then South Green won by 2 touchdowns, and all of the fans at Happy Valley, you know how fans are. Typical sports fans are always like, "Oh, it's always the refs' fault. It's
Right.
the refs' fault. It's not because our team just wasn't as good as the other team. It's because the refs suck." And yeah, I don't think I've ever seen it as crazy because like I thought those refs were about to get jumped.
All the fans is getting.
There was
on.
this one fan, excuse my language, he goes, "Hey, go fuck yourself. You fuck you. You threw the game." And
I'd hate ref.
and so the ref
We get-
the ref just looked at him, he said, "You're really what did he say? He said, "You're real courteous, aren't you?" And I was walking behind him, I was like, "Hey, y'all can't please everybody. I mean, at least you're in your bag."
Have you seen the thing where Pat Riley was saying there's gonna be an asterisk next to this championship?
I hated that. I'm a Heat fan. I'm a big Miami fan. Like any sports team, Miami, like those are my teams.
Mickey Mouse ring.
Yeah, they didn't earn it the right way.
Yes, no, I hate that was taken so out of context though.
No, it wasn't that. They were saying like because their team wasn't up to full.
I know, but it was taken out of context. They were saying like, oh yeah, they shouldn't have won because it wasn't really. The original report was that Riley said that this championship doesn't really count because it was like in a bubble, stuff like
Right.
that. And what really said is that there's always going to be like an asterisk with us because what could have been. Like
Right.
the asterisk is like what could have been if we had Pam Adebayo or if we had Goran Dragic.
It would have made no difference.
I think it would have.
I
I
think
think
it
we
would
would have won
have.
the championship.
You really think you would have won the championship?
Yep, 100%.
They had a better shot, yeah.
They had a better.
It would have
shot.
gone to 7 games.
Yeah.
I don't think Jimmy couldn't sustain playing like he had to.
Well, he obviously did it for the games that he did.
Yeah, but did you see him in Game 6? How tired he was.
Yeah, the man had like
He had to play the entire game.
he played basically the entire series, like almost every single game. He only like it was an interesting stat. Like out of like the 120 minutes that I've been playing, he has
played
only
almost
missed
all
2
of
of
them.
them.
Yeah.
He was playing like 18,
But he had
118
to.
out of 120.
He had to. That's what I like about Jimmy. He's always been like the guy that like he'll watch the game and just figure out what the team needs more than anything, and then he'll do it. Like if they need defense, he'll do that because he can not score 40, but he'll still make a huge impact on the game.
Yeah.
And that's what a star is. That's what a superstar is.
I think we should start calling him the GOAT.
No,
I don't think. Well, we
he
not.
needs a ring first. You
Don't
can't
worry.
be a goat without.
Don't
a ring.
worry. Just give us next year.
Yeah, they're going back.
I think they could make it.
Tyler Hero's improving his craft.
We talked about this on the last podcast. If KD and Kyrie can click, then
Yeah, if KD and Kyrie click together on the Nets, then it's probably over.
yeah, they're gonna dominate
I
the East.
think the thing is though, I think that Kyrie's gonna get injured. That's personally my opinion because that's happened almost every season.
I wish he would.
He can never. He's too injury prone in my opinion.
His style of play is ridiculous.
Styles play is ridiculous, but he can't. He's never played a full 82.
Well, not a lot of people do that anymore.
True.
Actually, I don't think did anybody do it this year?
LeBron did it like 2 years ago, a year ago.
Well, that was What, 2018?
Yeah, 2018.
That was the second worst team he's ever been on.
Mm-hmm.
The first one was in 2007.
He still played all 82 though. That's amazing.
He has
and
to.
years
And then-
16, 15.
And got him to the finals.
Yeah.
That's why
2016, he carried a bunch of bums to the finals and won.
He had Kyrie.
Kyrie and him. But I don't think Kyrie played all the games,
Kyrie
did
and
he?
Kevin. I mean,
Okay, Kevin does not. He did not perform as good as he
No.
should have. There was one game that he played good, and that's. I think it was a game. I don't remember, but he had like 27 or something like that, and everybody's like, "Oh my gosh, Kevin Love knows how to play basketball."
That's like how everybody was clowning KCP.
He balled out in the playoffs.
yeah, the finals he did fantastic.
The finals, he did fantastic.
Contavious Clutchwell Pope.
Uh-huh. And then Danny Green, he's just...
He got death threats for that. Him and his girlfriend. People were like, I saw a diss track. Someone made a diss track as soon as he missed the shot. It was up in like 20 seconds.
Of
It
course.
was on SoundCloud.
They knew it was going to happen, so they just had it recorded, pre-recorded.
When I saw LeBron driving in and getting quadruple teamed, I saw him kick it out. I was like, looking where everybody where it was on the floor. And I saw he threw it to Danny Green. I said, no, please, just anybody else. I knew he wasn't making it.
No.
I got so scared when that happened. Danny Green's a very because I'm a UNC fan and I followed him when he was at UNC, and also when he was with San Antonio and Toronto, and he makes the threes. There's a reason why he's the most he can make them. He made the most threes in finals history, like in one game.
How many did he have?
He had 8 or 9, or no, most in the series.
Yeah, it had a minute. Yeah.
It was most in the series. That's my bad.
You know, JR's like number 4 or 5 or something on the all-time threes for finals, and he only played 0 minutes in the finals.
All-time blunt rolling list.
He is dominating.
He's leading the league in Henny consumption.
Oh, and Dion Waiters has him in edibles.
Yeah.
Match made in heaven.
You see that even if the Lakers would have lost, Dion would have got a ring because he played for the Heat earlier in the season.
Yep.
Well, it was like at Miami's discretion, but like yeah, he could have gotten a ring, which was insane.
He knew what he was doing. He's like, I know Miami's going to the finals. Might as well just go to the
Yeah,
Lakers.
might as well.
What do you think would have happened if the Clippers and Lakers would have played each other?
Clippers would have choked. Clippers would have choked.
What? I don't understand where this came from, where Kawhi turned into the GOAT. Because he had one good playoff run in the East.
I really don't know where that came from, but...
He's a silent player. He just balls out and silent. But like there are also reports about how he was living in San Diego and he'd be late for missing team flights. That was just some reports. I don't know how true they are, but
I feel like when you're as good as he is, he's good, but he's not like.
he shouldn't get special treatment.
I
If
think
you want to be a part of a team,
some people should be held to a higher.
Yes, I agree, but
Like I feel like if LeBron doesn't want to show up to a practice, I feel like he has.
you should have a good reason why though.
Or that rumor. I don't know if it was a rumor, but who said, was it Danny Green who said that he might not play for the first month of the season if it starts like.
No, there are a lot of players that are saying that if
Which
they start,
I understand that.
if it starts December 22nd.
Because they're getting like a month and a half off. Like 2 months off.
And he just won the finals.
Yeah.
And then he's going to win the next one, too. So he's going to
No,
need
he's
as
not.
much rest as he
He's
needs.
not going to win the next one.
Who is?
The Heat.
Miami.
They're not beating the Lakers are going to get somebody this offseason.
They have no money.
We get rid of Danny Green.
They're going to max
Well,
out
what's
on
that?
Anthony.
A whole $32
Plus
an hour
he's-
plus tips?
Well,
He makes minimum wage.
Yeah.
He has a $15 million contract. And you could
That's-
get rid of him,
Absurd.
and you could get rid of JaVale and Dwight are gone. I hope Dwight stays, because he was that dude. Like one game out of the playoffs.
Hey, he did what he needed to.
what? What are you looking at me
Podcast
for, man?
first. Welcome back
Podcast
to
for-
ASMR.
We're eating food on the podcast
Our
now.
special guest is now eating.
Hey, man, I'm hungry.
You can go ahead and eat.
No, y'all are judging me. I'm done. Think of the kids, man.
The kids wouldn't want you to eat.
That's what they told me before the podcast started. They said make sure nobody's eating.
They said make sure nobody's eating, only talking.
I don't believe that. I do not believe it.
I received multiple comments from everyone. From all 46 followers we have on Instagram.
Hey, you know what? That's a start.
Shout
Yeah,
out
start-
shout out to the Instagram, Miller Wilson Podcast on Instagram. I'm pretty sure if you guys are watching this, you probably found out from the Instagram. But if you haven't, go follow us.
Big surprise, it's our names.
Our names. Shout out to Tyler Emmert for the design. We paid good money for that.
A whole $20.
A whole. Who's on the $20?
Shout out if you're actually listening to this far, because I know
we're just rambling.
We're just rambling at this point, and we appreciate you, or at least they appreciate you. I appreciate you for listening to me too.
I love you.
No matter who you are, I love you.
It's been pretty. I'm really proud of y'all for actually starting this. I mean, it's so hard to go from 0 to 1, and the fact that you even got.
We went from 0 to 11 on YouTube pretty fast.
Subscribers.
Really?
We got 11 subscribers from the first one.
No way, really?
Yeah.
I mean, I just listened to it like
got
when y'all
almost
Spotify.
100 views on the first episode.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
3 plays on Spotify.
That was one. One was mine.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I have YouTube, but like YouTube just sucks up data.
YouTube on the phone doesn't. It's not the best for data.
So I just.
We're I think we're on Anchor. If anybody ever used that before, Anchor FM. It's how I started the podcast and got it up on Spotify. If you listen on Anchor, props to you. I don't know who you are.
80 mil. We actually have like 50 million listeners on Anchor. We just don't know about it because nobody knows what it is.
Hey guys, get your views up on Spotify. I'm trying to get sponsored.
Tell your mom, your dad, your kids, your aunt, uncles, nephews, nieces about us.
If you actually are someone interested in us.
No, go ahead and do it even if you aren't.
Especially if you're still listening this far, like he said.
Yeah. God bless you for listening this far. I'm gonna just. Who do you want to shout out right now? Because.
Shout out to Jesus.
Okay.
Shout out my Savior.
Shout out God.
Shout out God.
Y'all want to go ahead and shout out all 3, actually. God, Son, and the Holy Spirit. The only 3 people above me that I put above myself.
It's the only people I fear.
Ain't nobody else.
I want to say shout out to my mom. She's got married this weekend. Congrats to her.
Is she going to listen to the pod? Is this going to...
I'm going to tell her to listen. If she listens to it.
If she doesn't, you'll never talk to her again.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to go that far, but...
You'll have to shun her.
No. I won't do that. But, yeah, congrats to Carolina for getting married.
Heck yeah.
Big achievement. What's your opinion on marriage?
What you mean?
Well, like, do you want to get married?
Why'd you say it so ignorant? What you mean?
Yeah, I want to get married someday. Probably not till I'm like 25.
My whole thing has always been like...
25 or at least...
Well, marriage and kids kind of go like the same. I got to be ready for it. It's like financially and... The one scary thing, you cannot have kids and not be financially ready.
What's financially ready?
You got to be able to support them.
Yeah. Have money for not just you, but your family.
So, okay, is that, like... But when do you know you can support them? Like, do you think there's, like, a moment you know? Like,
I think so.
Well, there's a certain maturity to it, too. I feel like I'm...
But you get that as you're going, too. As you're a parent, you just get more mature.
No, but, like, as of right now, like, you got to be like, I want kids. But, like, even if you don't want kids and you have them, you still got to take care of them. I feel like that's when it comes. But if you are planning to have kids, I feel like there's a certain maturity already there in you.
Yeah.
Well, if you have a kid, you grow up immediately.
Oh, yeah, that's
because you have to be there to take care of another person, another human being.
It's not just you anymore.
No.
Yeah.
You got to raise up a little baby or whatever.
And what? I don't know. I was just saying, that's why like, teenage moms and all that, like, if they actually get through, like, the pregnancy and, like, they go through school and they finish school, I respect the hell out of them. Like, everyone makes fun of, like, oh, shit, and, like, they shun them and stuff like that, but, like, I respect the hell out of them just because they were able to have a child and then either finish high school. Like, I had this girl who I went to middle school with, and she had a kid just before we graduated high school. And, or actually, no, it was, like, middle of high school, and she dropped out. And then she came back and finished everything and graduated on time with us. And I respect the hell.
Hard.
It must have been really hard. And I bet she had a really great support system. But I respect the hell out of her for that. And I bet she's happy now. I think she has 2 kids now. I think a 3rd's on the way. I follow her on social media. But
my mom just had a kid 3 years ago. And I've seen it firsthand. That's got to be the hardest job there is.
Being a parent, yeah.
Because, like...
You don't get paid for that.
I had to watch him for like 2 hours and I couldn't do it. I mean, I had to because he actually just opened the door and went outside. I don't know where he went. Like I just couldn't put
It's
up
like a
with
dog.
Yeah.
it. A smarter dog.
Well,
no,
like as a baby and a puppy, that's what I'm comparing it to.
it's the same thing basically.
Yeah.
But I feel like I don't know. It's got to be the hardest job out there.
I was thinking about this. What do you think that there's like a certain time requirement that you should date somebody before you take that next step and get married?
6 months.
A couple weeks.
Have you couple hours and then? No, I saw a thing.
I just met you at the bar. Let's get married.
People-
That's drunk me.
People, no, I saw a thing. It was like it takes like, I think 6 months. But you know how hard it is to fake yourself for 6 months.
No, I think it's a 3-month thing. That's after the honeymoon phase. Honeymoon phase is like 3 months, and that's like when you get all like the hookup stuff and like when basically everyone's true intentions. You can't keep on an act for 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like, it sucks. Like you want to be over and done with after 3 months, because like 1 month flies,
Mm-hmm.
2 months really fly, and then 3 months. That's when you're like, oh, okay,
This is what they're about.
yeah.
But what do you think is like a?
I think 2 years.
2 years. That's what
2 years.
I
2
think.
years. I think 2 years, like a
Give or
year and a
take some.
half. Yeah, it depends on every single situation, but
A
like
decade?
a year. Yeah, a decade.
At least
a lot of people
at
do
least
that too.
25 years.
No,
A quarter of my life.
You're married already at that point.
When you and Joanne gonna tie the knot? You guys have been dating for over 22 years.
Oh my, give me a break. I'm trying to figure things out.
I'm trying to see if I'm ready.
I thought that's the law in Tennessee, where like if you're together within 10 years or like engaged, you're automatically married.
I don't know. I've never been married.
I've never looked into the marriage laws of
Ah.
Tennessee.
Dude, you can become an ordained priest or whatever, or like
Minister.
Minister?
Yeah.
and just you can give out like wedding sermons and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You can do weddings. You can do that all online.
You can be
You become like a ordained minister.
100 subscriber special. I will be an ordained minister.
If you guys want to see it, we'll do it.
I'll go through the whole process. Once we get 100 subscribers, I will become a minister.
Let's get us to 100 subscribers. I want to see
The
that.
scripts.
100 scribs.
Okay, I got a question. So you think you should live with someone before you get married?
Even though it goes against my religious belief, because like in the Bible, you're not supposed to be. Well, no, okay, it says like sleeping
It
with
says you're not supposed to like.
sleeping with someone before marriage, right? But like,
Yeah.
That's sex.
well, yeah, that's what I meant. And like, I feel like living together would be.
I think if you wanna.
You have.
If
well,
you
I
really
think
want to
you
get to
have
know, if you want to understand if you can actually live with somebody for the rest of your life,
I 100% agree.
yeah.
I think my philosophy is rent it before you buy it,
It's kind of true.
and that's everything.
You have to see how they. What if they're just a piece of trash?
What if they're like a slob and
What if
you
you
just
wake
can't
up
deal with it? You wake up and there's like
rats on you,
rats, termites, mice.
But
cockroaches?
I'll tell you one thing: the marriage it's hard and all that stuff, but like, I think it's interesting how, like guys will always husbands will say, I've only been arrested a couple times, but you want to know the smallest handcuffs I've ever had on me? A wedding ring.
It traps you.
It's like a
The world's smallest handcuffs, a wedding ring.
That's really how it is, though. And women get control of you. Ain't no going back.
the ball and chain. Have you ever heard people refer to their wives as that?
Ball
I
and
have-
chain?
I have one time. I'm like,
I've
man.
never heard that one.
I feel like your wife's got to be like your best friend before.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I'm not trying to be 40 years old with a woman and I'm like, oh my god, all
Oh my
she
God,
does is
gotta
bitch
go.
and complain.
Gotta go home to her.
I should be excited to go home.
That's when you found your true love,
Mm-hmm. Finally, I get to go on a business trip.
Oh my.
Get to go do work.
God bless.
Yes, an 80-hour week. No, I don't see my wife anymore.
And you'll probably get divorced.
Oh man.
At that point, just get divorced. What do you...
Yeah.
You want the tax reduction?
I guess that's just like a social status thing. Like if
It
you're
is. I think going to church is a status thing. Because if people look at that, around,
That's
especially around here,
That's a southern thing. That's
Yeah.
like
yeah, that's what I'm...
Well, we're in the middle of the Bible Belt.
We're
Yeehaw,
around the
brother.
middle. You tell people you go to church. All right.
If you tell people you don't go to church around here,
They will.
I don't talk to people.
they will condemn you.
I don't either, but like once to they're like, oh, I go to this church wherever you go. I don't really go anywhere. So you want to go to hell is what you're doing. That's how it goes around.
Or if
here.
you go to a different what's it like a like Baptist
Branch of-
Or
yeah,
like non-denominational.
Catholic.
yeah
Presbyterian,
a
something like
different
that.
denomination
Yeah.
church.
That's it.
There you're like, oh okay, and then they just shun you.
No, you chose the wrong side.
Oh, looks like you didn't choose the right one. Out of I don't know however many there are, but
They're like for Christianity, it's so many
It's a
different
lot.
denominations. We had to do a project on that in high school, and I swear that was the longest project I ever did in my life.
How many?
It was like a big old PowerPoint, but it was like a 2-month project.
I mean, you know how it goes. Back then, it was like, oh, well, this is how it should be. And then they're like, oh, no, it isn't. And they're like, okay, I'm just going to go start my own.
yeah.
Like, that's what Martin Luther did, didn't
Yep. Martin Luther.
he? He's like, all right, here's everything wrong with what's going on. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here.
Well, like, whatchamacallit, King Henry.
Mm.
He didn't like how the Roman Church was doing everything, so he created his own church,
Yep.
English Church, Anglican Church of England. I mean, he got to marry his other wives, so and it's still
Polygamy.
around. So
Yeah, all right, have you ever, there's a show,
Sister wives.
yeah. I thought that was illegal in America. I thought you couldn't have more than one wife.
I
No.
think in like the
in the Mormon culture, I believe.
the Midwest, like the Mormon states.
Utah,
Yeah, Utah.
backwater. Shout out to Utah.
Shout out Utah. Shout out all my Mormon fans. I don't know if I've got any Mormon fans.
They're all Southern Baptists around here.
Yeah, all Southern Baptists.
You know, the internet's a powerful thing. Like, if you ever you go on YouTube, and people can if you make a movie and it's only watched in like certain countries, but you put it on YouTube, millions and millions of people can watch it from all over the different place. So like you're always putting stuff on YouTube. You can be anywhere.
Mhm.
Anybody from any country, probably besides China.
Shout out my fans from Paraguay.
Shout out to Panama.
Shout out to Panama.
Keep
The
holding it
Panama
down.
Canal.
Keep holding it down out there. Shout out to Vietnam.
Thailand. Shout out Sudan.
That's
Shout-
a new country.
Shout out to North
South
Korea.
Sudan.
Mhm.
But I mean, not new, but like, I've always wanted to go to South Africa, Johannesburg, Cape Town. I think that's probably like one of the coolest places.
That's where Elon Musk is from.
Cape Town,
South Africa.
or just South Africa. Dude, Cape Cod's fun. Where would you want to go travel wise? Or where do you think? Where's some place you would have to go before you go? Like,
Before I
kick
die?
before you kick the
Before I
bucket.
kick the bucket.
You don't really think about this stuff. I've never thought. I'm not a big travel person.
I'd say either like London
Bristol.
or France.
Bristol,
Bristol, Tennessee.
Bristol.
I'd like to go to the last great Coliseum in Bristol.
Hey, I've been the one in Bristol. I don't need to go all the way to Rome.
It's the same thing.
I'd
Yes,
rather. I think like
North Carolina,
London.
Europe, somewhere in
London's cool.
London.
Europe. Have you been to London?
I've been to London.
France.
I've been to France.
Germany.
Never been there.
Shout out to Germany.
Yeah, they make great cars. Woo.
German engineering. That's what I drive. Volkswagen.
Shout out to South Korea. Kia Soul, baby.
Yeah, I'm driving Mercedes now, so.
The Kia Soul, wasn't that the hamster commercials?
Yeah,
Oh my gosh, those things.
that's what I'll drive.
You know remember like 2012 Gangnam Style? How that
Mhm.
just took over the internet?
Nobody even knew what he was
It's
saying.
still one of the most liked videos on YouTube.
It's like top 5 now. I
Is
know. What Baby Shark now is the most viewed video on YouTube now. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
I know Despacito.
Yeah, it was
another one.
Despacito for the longest time, and then Baby Shark took over. And it has like 8 or 9 billion views.
It's crazy how
Oh
things
my
can blow up like that.
Billion?
Yeah.
9 billion. That's more than people on Earth.
Just about.
Something don't add up.
You watch it. I watch
That's funny. Because
I watched it twice.
Looks like YouTube is spreading false
Stat
propaganda.
this is putting out false numbers.
Well, you want to know? You want to hear something funny? So, back home, in order to, there was a big homeless population issue, and people staying in these parks, and they're staying there overnight, and it was getting really bad. So, in order to drive the people away, they get these little buses with speakers on top of it, and they would blast Baby Shark to get him out at night.
That's what they did in South Park. Do you remember that when the homeless were...
Oh, it looks like
It
they
was
were
off of-
taking inspiration from
It was
South Park.
it was taking inspiration from that. Not from South Park. It was the other way around. South Park took it from us.
That make
and it was like, what in the hell?
They took the homeless population in California.
They were blasting Baby Shark, and I was like, oh my god, you could hear it. Like, I was driving around just to see if it was actually happening, and it was. It was the funniest thing ever.
Well, that's why they have some benches in like big cities. Like, they're never just like an armrest on one side and an armrest on the other side.
In the middle,
they got it in the middle, so they can't lay down.
They do that in airports.
Mm-hmm.
Which sucks, because the only reason why you're doing it in the airport is because you're trying to sleep because of a layover.
Yeah, a layover or anything like that.
I hate the airport. I hate being rushed in the airport.
That's why you go so.
Fun fact, I've never been on a plane.
No, but when...
really?
Never been on a plane.
Fly first class, man. That's great.
Nah, one time, whenever I was on a plane going to Canada, there was these two people talking about diets for 2.5 hours on our way to Minnesota. They just wouldn't shut up. I just slept the entire time.
I met a really, really nice person on a flight. A really cute girl, and she was the nicest person ever. I still talk to her. Her name's Bridget.
Shout out to Bridget.
And
Shout out Bridget.
I haven't talked to her in a little bit, but she's super nice and super sweet, and she's from Jupiter, Florida. And it's the people that. What? Am I confessing my love for her? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, on the podcast. Is this a podcast first?
Nah.
Podcast first.
Shout
Internet
out to Bridget.
marriage proposal.
Bridget, if you're ever listening to this,
he loves you.
hit me up again.
And he wants to marry you.
E-marriage.
Yeah, e-marriage. Do that.
Like The Sims.
I am going to be an ordained minister at 100 subscribers, so.
We can do your wedding.
Nah, man. Marriage is whack. We're not getting back into that, but no, I met so many different interesting people on airplanes, and.
Do you fly a lot?
Yeah, I do fly a lot. Just because I go back and forth from here in Florida, and my mom lives in North Carolina, so I fly back and forth all the time, and it's just easier and it's a lot cheaper.
Yeah, than driving.
Yeah, because 12 hours.
You have to eat probably. Nah, our age we can drive it straight.
I've done it straight. I just drive straight all the time. I have a whole game plan too. So it's nice. I stop at places I know where I can be. I get eat. I get Publix. Usually I get a pub sub. It's perfect. It's nice about my car. I only need to fill it up once. I can go from here to South Florida.
The Kia Soul's really good on gas mileage.
Now we're back at the Kia Souls.
Shout out to the weird stain in my back seat. I don't know where it came from.
Is that how you drive a Kia Soul?
Yeah. Eco-friendly.
Hey.
It's the Eco Boost model.
Eco Boost.
Shout out to my Kia Soul.
Shout out my Volkswagen Passat.
Do you have a name
Turbo
for your
diesel.
car?
No.
No, why not?
She's a dirty whore. She has a stain in the back seat. She doesn't get a name.
You have a name for your car?
Yeah.
It's Veronica.
Veronica the Volkswagen.
Veronica the Volkswagen? Maybe Clifford and Veronica should, get together.
We could get a poll going to name the Kia Soul.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Let's do that.
If you're listening at this part of the video, we're putting a poll up.
Or just put it down in the comments below. This will be on YouTube.
Yeah, go ahead and drop some names for the Kia Soul.
And if you don't put anything down in the comments, we'll know you're a fake fan. That you didn't watch an hour and 19 minutes in.
An hour and 19 minutes we're at?
Yeah.
Wow. If you're actually listening to this, oh my gosh. I'm proud of you. You can get a free hug and you can stay with me in Florida.
Is this real?
It's for real. I'll let you stay. I'll take you on the boat.
On the boat.
We'll go to an island. We'll go to a nice private island.
Bridget, if you're listening, all this is on the table for you.
Bridget, he wants to take you to an island. Private island.
Peanut Islands. We want a Peanut Island. It's really cool. It's an old Coast Guard island, and back when the 60s when JFK was president.
Bay of Pigs.
Yeah, and that whole thing, Cuban Missile Crisis, there's his old bunker's there.
It's on that island?
It's on that island.
Can you get into it?
You used to be able to. Now they had tours for it, and it was really cool, and they shut that down in 2017. They weren't getting any money for it.
I say we break in.
1,000 subscriber special. We're breaking into a military bunker.
We will go to Peanut Island and break in 1,000 subscribers.
And record the episode there.
Hit the like button. We'll do it in the bunker. We will. I'll bring the mic and the computer and the dresser.
I went to Florida and we went to this island to, I don't know what we were doing. We were going snorkeling, but on the way to the place we were snorkeling, we stopped at this island, and a news crew came with us and stuff, because they were looking at, there's like an old Spanish fort on the island, and like the water's like eroding, because that's how it works.
Mm-hmm.
And like they went out there. I got on the news in Florida. Hey, shout out to a news station down in Florida.
That's so like.
They saw the back of my head.
Where in Florida?
It was near Naples.
Oh, west side, not the east side.
I would say west side.
No, east side, baby. I've been on the west side of Florida once in my life. Hell, I just went to the Panhandle. This past spring break. It was the first time I've ever been on the Panhandle, Florida.
What's a panhandle?
It's
The
like where
Panhandle?
Pensacola Beach is and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, I think that's gonna do it for today.
I think that's gonna do it.
Yeah, so it was a great episode. Thanks to our special guest Byers Carney for showing up.
Thank you for having me. It's been a blast talking here, rambling about random nonsense.
Shout out to his mom for getting married.
Shout out Bridget.
Shout out to Bridget too for a future marriage.
Future marriage.
100,000 subscriber special. We're gonna cover that wedding.
Okay. Can't wait.
As an ordained minister.
Because that will happen.
So
Yeah.
yeah, guys. Thanks for joining us. Hopefully you stayed till the end. Episode 3. Well, I'm not talking about episode 3. Episode 2 coming out Thursday. You guys will see this on Thursday. Episode 3. Who do you want to be our next special guest?
Jeezy.
I'm voting for our president, Mr. Wright.
Mm-hmm.
I think he'd be a good guest. I think he'd be a good one.
I thought you were gonna say Trump.
If you
Good
see the title next week and it says special guest the president, don't expect Trump
Or Biden.
or Biden
Or Kanye.
or Kanye. Expect Blake Wright. But yeah, thank you to Byers Carney. Thank you to Bailey Wilson for showing up.
Always.
And thank you to myself, I guess.
And shout out to you for listening this long.
Yep.
Yeah, big shout out to you.
And that will do it for the Miller Wilson Podcast, Episode 2. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.